Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. This evening we are talking food, or lack thereof. And where I'm going with this is, last week you may have seen the headlines that said the UK was sleepwalking into a food crisis. Now that came from the NFU, the head of the National Farmers Union. And why that was said was because there's a whole lot of people in the farming industry for whom it's just not worth it anymore. They either can't get the staff to pick the vegetables or the fruits, they can't get the staff to process the meats in the factories, the animal feed prices have gone up so much, the energy prices have gone up so much, and the fuel prices have gone up so much. And National Farmers Union have said, there's people giving up farming. And even if they haven't given up, there's people re-looking at how they're going to do things next year. If they planted, say, 10 acres of strawberries last year, they maybe can't get the pickers, so this year they're only going to plant 5. And they'll do something that can be mechanised in the other places, or they just won't do it. Farmers throughout the country are having to look at what they're looking to do next year, because there's no obvious indication that prices of animal feed, fertiliser, energy or fuel are going to come down rapidly anytime soon. And the Therese Coffey, what is she? She is the Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. Now, she was at a committee, where they get asked questions this week, I think possibly yesterday. And she said she's not going to be particularly critical of supermarkets. I'm like, okay, I can get that. Everybody has to make money. I personally think the farmers should make a lot more money, but then the supermarkets, to keep their profits, would charge me more money, and I don't particularly have that. So I'm thinking a more equitable way of doing things would be quite good. But Ms. Coffey does not think that she can be critical of supermarkets. And the government has got no plan to intervene in food pricing. Well, okay, so they're not going to help the farmers get more money, they're not going to pay us more wages. And it is a vicious circle, but just to let you know what's happening with the farmers, the charity Sustain did a survey, and farmers made less than 1/10 of a penny in profit on a loaf that sells in the supermarket for £1.14. So they need to sell 10 loaves to make 1 pence of profit. And a £2.50 block of cheese gives a farmer 1 penny of profit. So personally, I think there's something wrong there. However, doesn't particularly matter what I think should happen, because I'm not in charge. However, what I am in charge of is my own household. So my thoughts are, I need to learn how to garden. I have some seeds, I got some last year. Marianne at Wallflowers UK, she does a lot of gardening, she does a lot of regrowing. So I'm hoping that she'll do one in the new year, a video to show me how to do this, because seemingly I can regrow garlic, I can regrow leeks, I know I can redo spring onions, I've done them. But I want to start actually gardening and try and get some food, because anything I can grow myself, even if it's on the windowsills, because that's been the only place I've managed to grow anything recently, even if it's just something on the windowsills, it's going to mean I'm not having to buy it from the supermarket. So I would personally check out the videos on YouTube. I don't know who they are, what they are. I have seen a few where they're like, this is how I regrow food from, like, tomato seeds from tomatoes I buy in the shops. I know sometimes it doesn't always work, but I am going to have to start doing that, because if the farmers are cutting what they are growing or producing, we've already seen what's happened with eggs. So I want to make sure I can try and give myself half a chance at getting my own food. Baking things, if I need to bake. because there's no point in me buying cake if I can bake cake here. Obviously bread, I have that fabulous sandwich bread recipe that I just love. I need to actually do another video about that because I think I got the ingredients wrong when I was doing it on YouTube like last year sometime. It was the first time and it was dreadful. But yeah, I need to start looking at that because I can freeze bread. If I make it, I can freeze it. It doesn't have to be eaten in one day. I can cut half a loaf and put it in the freezer and use it a couple of days later. I need to start looking at what I can produce myself because for many farmers, it's not going to be worth it. So, yeah, prepping. Here I come. I am going to be prepping everything I can find. And if that means that I need to pickle things, can things, grow things, do things, I have from now to start getting myself prepped so that I can store things, so that I can use things. As you've seen before, the Too Good To Go boxes, if you can get them with veg, if you know anyone at a veg shop that's throwing stuff out. Food initiatives, Marianne's had some good stuff there. I even said to Creef Connections, who we gave the donation to at the weekend, that if they've got any fruit or veg left over, give me a shout, I'll come and dehydrate it. You know, we can make it into soup mixes or something. So all things like that, that's what I'm going to head for next. So yeah, get ready to garden. And if anyone's any good at it, give me some tips because I'm useless, totally useless. But I think with the farmers struggling so much, I think the price of fruit and veggies next year is going to be quite alarming. So I'm going to see what I can get and what I can plant. So fingers crossed. Let me know how you get on. Catch you later.